Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Bill Voss, President and CEO of the Flight Safety Foundation. Over the past several decades, advances in technology, human performance, and through the dedication of flight crews, air traffic controller technicians, and other professionals, have made the aviation industry remarkably safe. Today, I'd like to take this opportunity to talk about the subject of professionalism. So why should we refocus on professionalism? Because year after year, we continue to see high-profile accidents occurring due to deviations from standard operating procedures involving aviators who are well-trained and experienced, who quite frankly have ignored the common sense rules of safety. They've displayed fundamentally a lack of professionalism. This video aims to refresh your perception of professionalism. It encompasses all aviation personnel: pilots, controllers, dispatchers, technicians, even regulators and management. Professionalism is not just about the nature of your job. It's much more to do with how you do your job, and indeed how safely you operate in that job, especially if your job has anything to do with aviation.
I'm Captain Craig Shaver, and I would like to share with you some of my 40 years of flying experience on the subject of professionalism. Every time I hear that human deficiency is declared as a primary cause for an aircraft accident, a mixed feeling enters my heart. Why do we, as professional pilots, make these kinds of errors? How can we minimize such mistakes from happening again? Here my opinion is influenced by the founder of the Flight Safety Foundation, Mr. Jerry Lederer, who had this to say: "Professionalism means knowing your occupation so thoroughly and intimately that it becomes a part of your life." A pilot who knowingly flies an aircraft at the limits of the aircraft or safety envelope is toying with unexpected results should the pilot momentarily exceed these limits. A pilot may also be barely within the performance limits of the aircraft. However, to disregard a safer alternative is inviting disaster if meteorological, aircraft loading, or crew response to any event is in any way worse than planned. A real professional is one with the right attitude towards his job and fellow employees, and is willing to search for the correct answer and be willing to be corrected concerning a safety issue, as no one is perfect. This type of individual is responsible and can be depended upon to do the best job possible.
Professionalism is an attitude towards our work, and more than anything else, it has to be acquired over a period of time. Your attitude is reflected by how you react to events, which we all face in life. Your attitude takes time to change and requires a willingness by you to make the change. To be a professional, therefore, implies that a person is a really good performer in their job and can always be depended upon to uphold the highest professional standards.
What does professionalism mean to you?
Well, professionalism it's almost a way of life. You know, it's a culture that you accept. I mean, you're a professional all the time. You're professional when you're in an airplane. It should be second nature. Just like you put your seatbelt on when you get in the airplane, you become a professional and you stay professional.
Why is professionalism important in aviation?
Well, it's important because we want people to do the right thing all the time. I mean, you have to fly right or just don't fly. You've taken a great deal of responsibility when you take an airplane up, and especially if you have passengers. And so you've got to do the right thing all the time, whether you're being watched or not, whether it's a check ride or not. You operate the airplane the same way, professionally and properly.
How did your view of professionalism evolve throughout your career in aviation?
Well, professionalism is a way of life in an airplane. I can't regulate professionalism. I can't do that. So we have to depend on the culture of professionalism, the culture of doing things right. This is a business where one mistake is one too many. So I tell people either fly right or don't fly.
What as an FAA administrator can you do for professionalism if you can't regulate it?
Well, we certainly can get the message out. We can show people, how important it is. I'm very pleased that we have organizations like the Flight Safety Foundation and other organizations that help us get the message to pilots at the grassroots level. You don't have to be getting a paycheck to be a professional pilot, and I want everybody to accept that responsibility. You earn the license, you operate it, and you operate it professionally.
Are you concerned about the level of professionalism in aviation today?
I'm concerned sometimes that people, they get very comfortable, too comfortable. That's exactly the wrong time. When things are going really well, you should be looking around. Yeah, I am concerned that people get complacent. We do have a wonderful safety record, and that's not the time to relax. We're trying to raise the bar higher and higher all the time, and the only way we're going to do that is to operate to a higher level of safety, a higher level of standards for ourselves, and only we can set those standards.
Professionalism to me is not just the way I fly, it's the way I approach my entire life and my career as an airline pilot. When I fly the line, I strive for perfection, from pre-flight planning through every aspect of the entire flight. My passengers expect nothing less, my airline expects nothing less, and I tolerate nothing less of myself and my crew. The way to be successful as a professional airline pilot is to pay close attention to every operational detail and every safety and security measure. But it's more than just flying the line to the best of my ability. It means taking whatever time I need to make sure I know everything I can about my airplane, the way it's operated, the airports I fly into and out of, and all the safety and security rules that apply. It means doing things the right way every time, no matter what else is going on. In short, professionalism is a state of mind. It's not something I do, it's something I am.
As we learned through our accident investigations that when flight crews and controllers deviate from standard operating procedures and established best practices, safety margins erode, inadvertent errors go uncorrected, and the consequences can be tragic, not only for our passengers and their families, but for the aviation industry. We must focus on what can and does go right, and to understand how we can collaborate to develop and reinforce professionalism in the workforce. It has been said that professionalism is not the job you do, but how you do your job. Professionalism means doing the right things all the time, even when no one is looking. It is our collective hope that this video will help to encourage a full spirit of professionalism and to make it contagious throughout the industry. We must all take responsibility for the future of aviation safety and play an active role in shaping the environment and expectations with what we have learned. That will be our legacy.
As aviation has always done, we need to learn from mistakes, both ours and others. We must be vigilant in handling each and every operational detail so we can eliminate the potential for occurrence of human errors. In order to do this, each individual must recognize and maintain a strong safety mindset. How we think is important to us because it dominates our behavior, and our behavior forms our habits. Our habits create our attitude, and our attitude develops our character, which ultimately decides our future. Our individual thoughts and actions affect not only our future, but also the organization's future.
In order to assure safe and efficient operations, Each and every one of us must practice professionalism in everything we do. And further, we need to enhance our technical skills and decision-making to the highest level to operate our aircraft as safely as possible. In the meantime, management is also required to assure that systematic and comprehensive hazard identification and risk management functions have been implemented within each organization. To drive down errors, we must actively elevate our safety awareness level from required to be safe to I want to be safe. Ladies and gentlemen, professionalism is the key to reducing risk to the lowest possible level and to enable aviation safety to continue to lead the way in transportation safety.